The Red Sox are back in the World Series after beating the Tigers in the ALCS. Why this series will go down as one of the epic ALCSs in baseball history. So the Red Sox are back in the World Series for the third time in 10 years as they will take on the St. Louis Cardinals beginning Wednesday in Game 1 at Fenway Park. And this was an epic American League Championship Series, very evenly matched, a 19-18 difference in scoring runs overall for the two teams in the series. The Tigers with a 2.06 ERA from their starters in this series, and yet they go home the losing team. The Red Sox basically won this series on 3 swings of the bat. The David Ortiz grand slam in Game 2, Mike Napoli's home run for the only run of Game 3 in their improbable win over Justin Verlander, and of course in Game 6, Shane Victorino with the clutch grand slam of just about all time. And you know, when the Red Sox chose not to re-sign Cody Ross in the offseason, they could not have picked a better guy to replace him than Shane Victorino. As I said, in spring training, when Victorino arrived at camp, you're not going to find a more grinding, clutch, leadership type of player than Victorino, and he has brought all of those elements to this Red Sox team this season, playing through injury, taking it for the team, getting hit by pitches, and of course culminating it last night with the grand slam of all grand slams, sending Fenway Park into absolute delirium. This series, though, was so even, and it could have went either way. And if the Tigers had a healthy Miguel Cabrera and a Prince Fielder that showed any kind of production at all in the series, and if the Tigers ran the bases a little better, they could have won this series. Because even though the Red Sox pitching was outstanding, the difference was those 3 swings of the bat that I said. Those 3 swings are why the Red Sox are here and the Tigers are not. But the Tigers should not be ashamed of themselves. They played a gutty series. They're a good ball club. They have a great manager. And I hope Jim Leyland doesn't get fired because he's such a good manager. And it's not his fault. His players did not come through in the clutch. But the Red Sox did come through. And it should be a great World Series matching up with the Cardinals. And I can't imagine that Adam Wainwright and Michael Wacha, the 2 top pitchers for the Cardinals, are going to be as good as the 3 were for the Tigers in Anibal Sanchez, Max Scherzer, and of course Justin Verlander. Those guys were just unbelievably good in this series. So many strikeouts of the Red Sox, who strike out a lot anyways. But you can't doubt this Red Sox team. I mean, they just find a way to get it done. They knew they had to win this series in 6 games to avoid a Game 7 against Verlander. So what do? They go out there and hit a grand slam to cap things off. And Koji Uehara, a shutdown closer, the ALCS MVP, a win and 3 saves in this series. If he pitches like that in the World Series, the Red Sox are going to be awfully tough to beat. We'll have a preview of this series later in the week, but right now, I think the Red Sox are probably going to win the World Series in 6 games because I think their lineup is just a little bit better than the Cardinals, a little bit deeper, a little more grinding. And the Red Sox pitching's been outstanding, except for Franklin Morales, who almost put the Red Sox in a bad spot last night. But overall, this probably will go down as one of the best ALCSs ever. 2 evenly matched teams, and it was just a couple of swings of the bat that made the difference. And the bottom line is the Red Sox are going to the World Series for the 3rd time in 10 years to take on the Cardinals. And I'm ready for it, and I'm sure you guys out there are too. So your impressions of this epic ALCS series that we just watched between the Tigers and the Red Sox. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends about This Week in Red. And don't forget to check out my blog at BoSoxInjection.com.